Like, well, that's really creepy. Like, I guess that's what my mom must have meant when she said not to cross, your mom. Hi everyone, it's Kiyoshi, aka OBiGem. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell to be notified of all future videos. And if you like what you see, please do hit the like button so I know to keep making content like this. So we are back with another episode of Growing Up Genki, and we are actually in a new setting for this episode. So Hana is actually going to be starting up at her new school, Windenburg Global Boarding School. She'll only be attending during the days. She won't actually be living there, but she will be taking the bullet train to Windenburg to attend that academy. So she did decide to go into town in Windenburg along with Kiyoshi and Nanami to kind of check the place out and, get her schedule and all of that. And they decided to stick around a little bit afterwards and get something to drink from the cafe and chat a bit. So Hana is actually really excited to chat with Nanami because, they kind of left a little bit on a cliffhanger the last time they were out at that family dinner gone awry where Nanami said, you wanna not rock the boat with my parents, things could turn out badly. And, Hana's all like, I need for you to just be 100 with me and just tell me, what the whole spiel is with your family. And so that's what they're going to do. They're going to sit here and they're going to chat and they're going to find out a little bit more about the Ito family and what's going on. But they're going to go ahead and start out a little bit light. So Hana is just, going to ask Nanami, how was your school day? How are you? Like, how is everything? And Nanami's going to tell her, I'm good. I hope you had a good winter fast with your family. And she's like, yes, of course. What are you furious about, honey? That offended me. Sometimes people don't watch what they say. I don't know. Something Nanami said rubbed her the wrong way. No. Sit back down. Okay, we'll go with it. Anyway, she's like, but yeah, like, my Winterfest was great, but I just wanted to really, sit and chat with you and ask you some questions about your family, and in particular, really your mother. And she's like, oh, what do you want to know? She's like, well, something just really is sticking in my mind about something my mom said. She said that I really should be not wanting to get on your mom's bad side, and for that, I'm a little bit curious of what she might mean. Like, what's the history there? What's going on? I know that you did talk a little bit about how your brother was sweet on somebody else before I was in the picture. Like, do you know anything about that? And Nanami's like, look, I can tell you everything you want to know about that situation, and I think I might know what your mom means about steering clear of my mom. That is something you definitely, I think you really should heed your mom's advice about that, and I could tell you exactly why. So Nanami's like, if you really want to understand what's really going on with that whole thing with my brother and the girl he was into, you have to know the whole history behind the Nishidake family. And they're like a really old school family that's got a whole lot of prestige here in Mount Komorebi, but they kind of were standing in the way of the new development plans my parents had for the area, and it really kind of rubbed my mom the wrong way. My brother did kind of have feelings for Kaori. Once everything kind of started going down with the Nishidake family between my mom and them, they kind of cooled down a little bit. Everyone kind of is suspecting that my mom kind of cursed them or something like that, but no one knows for sure. All we know is that after they stood in the way of the development plans my mom and my dad had for the town, things started to go downhill for them. They started getting weird illnesses. They started, falling on hard times. And then when Kaori's grandparents passed away unexpectedly after, that perfect storm, she really kind of, backed away from him and really kind of thought that my mom had something to do with what happened with her family. So it kind of started a rumor that my mom has, some sort of power to curse people in town and make bad things happen to them, because after that happened, every single time someone tried to cross my mom, something really bad happened to them, or, someone that they cared about, and it kind of gave her the reputation of the type of person that you really don't want to cross. So all of that's kind of to Hana's like, well, that's really creepy. Like, I guess that's what my mom must have meant when she said not to cross, your mom. And, that's definitely something I'm glad that you told me about, because I don't want anything bad to happen to me. And she's like, for sure, you definitely want to make sure to stay on my mom's good side, because I'd hate for something to happen to you. And Hana's like, well, thanks for letting me know about that, Nanami. Like, I really appreciate it. So Hana's gonna go ahead and order them something to eat. She's like, I'm gonna get us something to eat real quick. And Nanami's like, oh sure, go ahead. I'm just gonna go ahead and run quickly to the bathroom. But actually, she's not going to the bathroom. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send Nanami home, because when they came out here, Kiyoshi kind of pulled her to the side and said, sis, I would really appreciate it if at some point you just kind of like headed back without us, because I kind of want to hang back and, spend some time with Hana on her own, and she's like, okay, I'll do you this one solid. So it looks like Kiyoshi is craving a sweet at the bakery counter, so I am going to go ahead and have him get something too, while Hana is, I don't know where she went. I think she's watching TV somewhere, waiting for her food. So I'm gonna have Kiyoshi come down here and order something, and then he's gonna kind of get her over to sit with him, because he wants to have a conversation. But poor Hana, she's so none the wiser. She has no idea that Nanami already left, and that she is over here trying to make her kind of have like a date with Kiyoshi. So I don't know how she's going to take that, but hopefully she'll be okay. So they are back at the table, and Kiyoshi kind of nervously ate his sweets before he even got here, just because he's a little bit nervous. But Hana actually decided she didn't want anything sweet and went out to the kiosk to get some pizza. But okay, sure. Anyway, they're kind of just waiting here, and like Hana is thinking they're waiting for Nanami to come back from the bathroom, but Kiyoshi is just now telling her, actually, like, Nanami's not here anymore. And Hana's all like, what do you mean? And Kiyoshi's all like, well, I mean, don't get mad, but I did ask her if she could just, head back to the house without us, because I wanted to spend some time with you. And Hana's doesn't really know how to respond to that. It's making her feel a little bit awkward and nervous, and she's kind of also a little bit low-key mad at Nanami for leaving her like this. She's all like, I wasn't prepared for all this, and now I'm here all by myself with Kiyoshi, and Nanami's not here, and I'm a little bit annoyed, but she's not going to let Kiyoshi know that she's feeling all these things. Is just trying to, like, quietly accept that this is what this is right now. So Kiyoshi is supposed to jump right in and be like, so, how are you? And, like, how are you feeling about all of this, such as, us being engaged right now? She's like, I'm still not that, jazzed about it. It's still something I'm having trouble wrapping my head around. And he's like, yeah, I get it, but, I want you to know that I want to keep, trying to make this, like, a legitimate relationship and to make you feel comfortable. And Hana's just like, I hear that, and I hear you keep saying that, but I'm still uncomfortable, and if I'm being quite honest with you, Kiyoshi, I just don't see how you can make this a more comfortable situation. I mean, I don't really get it. Like, why aren't you feeling as uncomfortable about this relationship as I am? I mean, I just talked to your sister about how you used to be in love with, Kaori Nishidake, and how that fell apart, and it's like, don't you have feelings about that situation? How can you just recover from that situation and then suddenly want to be all about me? And Kiyoshi's like, honestly, I hear you, but as far as Kaori and what happened there, I thought I was in love with her, but then, we kind of drifted apart when all those things started happening with her family. I'm sure my sister told you about how they kind of ran on bad luck. She really pulled away from me, and it really soured me on the relationship we were trying to build. And so I'm not really hung up on her if you think that's what's going on there. And as for our relationship, I realized that it's been very quick and whatnot, but quite honestly, like, I always kind of admired the spiritedness that you've had ever since I, like, met you. You just seem so independent, and I find that very attractive. The way you handle yourself, the way that you are so confident, and you're not really, afraid to, rock the boat with my parents. I find all of that super attractive. I think you're a really admirable person, so that's the reason why I really haven't been feeling, where are you going, Kiyoshi? It's why I really haven't been really put off by a relationship, because it just feels like the more I see you and how you hold yourself and just the way you are, it just kind of makes me more attracted to you. And he's like, I hope that doesn't make you feel uncomfortable with me admitting that. And Hana's like, well, I mean, I can't lie and say it doesn't, because I don't know that I feel the same way about you. She's like, I hear that, but I want you to know something. I feel strongly about you, and I wanna be given the chance to make you love me. Oh, Hiro, he wanted to invite Hana over to eat some food, but she's not even in town right now. She's in Windenburg, and it's gonna be like a 2-hour train ride back to Mount Komorebi, so we're gonna have to turn him down. Maybe next time, Dad, I promise. So Hana's like, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, I feel like you're putting me a bit on the spot here, but I don't know how to feel about you making me love you. And he's like, look, I know that might not be the best choice of words. I'm not really that great with my word choices and whatnot, but I want to make you fall for me. Like, I want this relationship to work, and I just want you to know, like, as it stands right now, I care a lot about you. I admire you. I find a lot about you very attractive, and I want to, be given the chance to court you and make you fall for me. And so I hope that you'll give me that opportunity. And Hana's like, well, I mean, right now I can't really give you that answer, but I hear what you're saying, and that's as good as I can get. So Hana's a bit flustered. She's a bit embarrassed. She's all like, I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, he kind of low-key confessed some feelings towards me, and the whole time I've not really been interested in this whole Kiyoshi thing, because he's just been kind of hanging around. So we'll see where this goes, but it's given a lot for Hana to think about right now as she's trying to figure out what to do with this whole Ito situation. She is going to be starting at Windenburg Global, so next episode I do want to dive into that. She's going to be meeting new people, and there's going to be loads of additional drama that's going to entail with that. This is actually a good place to leave things with Hana, as she's kind of contemplating everything that Kiyoshi gave her to chew on, as far as him expressing his feelings towards her and wanting the opportunity to court her and make her fall for him, and also everything that Nanami kind of filled in the blanks about why she should steer clear of getting on Megumi's bad side is all good things. But we'll let her contemplate that, and we will check back in with her in next episode, where we will actually be starting her escapades at her new school, Windenburg Global. What is it? An academy, I think? I don't know. I think that's what I named it. But we'll be checking in with that and seeing her do her school day and meet her new school friends there. That should be fun. But right now, we're going to leave things here, and we're actually going to swing back over to the Hitoshi family, just so that we can catch up with them for a bit. Hitoshi household with Yume. And actually, while we've been away, it looks like Yukino actually aged up. She's right here. So I'm like, oh my gosh, she's a toddler now. So I had to go into Kaz just to fix her up a little bit, but she honestly aged up with some pretty good genetics. Can't really see it that well here because she's outside, but as with Hana, she got Yume's eyes. But other than that, she turned out pretty cute. I'm excited to see how she's going to look when she becomes a kid. But it seems that Yume is still dealing with some postpartum depression, and she's getting a bit concerned because now that Yukino is a toddler, she's feeling like, I shouldn't still be feeling this way. I feel like these feelings should have worn off, and they just have persisted, and I'm a little bit scared and concerned that this is speaking to something like a deeper problem, and she really wants to talk to Hiro about that. So even before they even got down to talking, like, Yume is already in hysterics, feeling like, honey, like, there's something wrong. I feel like I've been sad for too long, and the feelings just aren't subsiding. So Hiro's really like, what do you mean? What's going on with you? Like, you're crying. Like, what's going on? And she's like, I just don't feel like myself ever since having Yukino, and I'm concerned. So Hiro's like, Yume, what do you think it might be? She's like, I don't know if I'm depressed or what's going on, but I think I need help. And Hiro's like, look, like, I don't want you at home crying, freaking out and upset all the time. Like, if this is how you've been feeling, then I think we really should go get you some help. And Yume's like, I really appreciate you really, showing some concern and taking the initiative on this. And I agree with you. I do think that I do need to go see somebody. He's like, we'll get this figured out. We'll have you, see a therapist or whatever you need to get back into better shape. And, we'll figure things out. And Yume's like, thank you so much for being my rock through all this. I know it can't have been easy this go around with this pregnancy because I know I've been off. And he's like, I love you and I'm going to be here for you. And we're going to figure this whole thing out. So with that, it looks like Yume and Hiro have a plan on how to get Yume back into better shape. I'm thinking that once Yume starts seeing a therapist and just talking through her feelings, she can start to feel better and recover from a postpartum depression that she's been dealing with this whole time. And I'm hopeful that that will help to put her back into a better place. And I'm certain that her being depressed has really stopped any of their plans as far as having another child, because they have continued to try, but she hasn't been getting pregnant. And I think all of it just ended up being, altogether something that's all been keeping her down. So I think Yume's thinking like, let me just stop like trying to focus on trying to have another baby and really get my health back into better shape. I think that's what's important for me right now. I really need to stop putting so much pressure on myself, especially as it relates to having the right child to carry on the family. Like, I think all of that maybe has contributed a little bit to how I'm feeling now. And Hiro's in total agreement. He's like, look, honey, I never said that I needed to have a son, and I know you felt like that's something you could do, but please understand that whether we have a son or not, I will love you, and our family name will continue on in some way, shape, or form. Just, keep your head up, honey. Like, I don't want you to just be depressed and, in this deep pit of despair. So I'm gonna have Hiro go ahead and just tell him that tell her that you have my heart, and then go ahead and give her a kiss so that she just knows that he's here for her. And I'm actually gonna also have him say that he loves her, because I think Hiro's feeling like I want her to know the whole step of the way that I'm here for her and that she's loved, and to not be so down. Do what I can do to help her come out of this. So, Hiro's being a studious, dutiful husband, and you love to see it. So I'm positive that there's going to be a good outcome out of this, especially since she's finally gotten a chance to have this conversation. They kind of kept on getting headed off during the Winterfest holidays. But this is Yukino, you guys. You can kind of see it better now that she's on the inside. She's kind of sinking into the couch here, glitching through the couch, but you can kind of see her face. Isn't she a little cutie pie? She's cute. I think she's going to be a really beautiful sim. But, you know, let us end this here. We're gonna actually end it on this freeze frame of Hiro looking like he's the luckiest man in the world with his 2 girls at home and his 1 girl far. But let me know, you guys, in the comment section below what you thought of this episode. What are your feelings about Kiyoshi trying to court Hana and to try and make her fall for him, as well as Yume and Hiro? Do you think that therapy will help her overcome her postpartum depression? Do you think that after she overcomes her postpartum depression that there may be another baby on the way? Let me know in the comment section below. But as always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and of course stay dazzled. I will see you in the next one. Bye.